peace to the gods and goddesses out there. I know I'm running late. Sorry about that. Couple things happened, but we are about to go in on this Christmas thing. And I'm about to make the call now. Hello? Hey. Yeah. Wait a minute, hold up a minute. Can you hear me? You can hear me? Hello? Hello? Yo, hello? Yo! I don't know what's wrong. Let me try this again. I gotta get better equipment, or else I'm just not gonna do anything until I get better equipment, because something seems to happen every time. Hello? Hello? Well, I'm calling. It's not. Let me see. Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, Robot.
Robot, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what was going on. It looked like the Facebook app looked like it just disappeared off of my laptop. I didn't have anything to stream with except my phone, so that's why it took so long. I couldn't. So anyway, topic tonight, I wanted you to ask you about Christmas. We know the holiday coming up. People is going in, spending all.
Is this going out live, bro?
Yeah,
this is going out live.
Yeah, this is live right now.
Oh.
Huh? Yeah, everything cool?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just tired, that's all.
Oh, okay. I mean, you know.
Bro, let's go forward. Ask the questions.
All right. Well, first of all, I want you to give a little origin, because I know you know the for my Christian friends out there that's in my mom church and everything, going about the origins of Christmas and what is the Bible, or what is, or what, like, should black folks be celebrating Christmas?
I got you. I'm going to rephrase the question and make the question more accurate, if you don't mind.
Right, okay.
It's not just Christians that celebrate Christmas.
Yeah, but what I was saying, it was my Christian friends and my mom church that's happened to be, that's going to come over the video. That's what I was saying.
Oh, I understand. Okay. Well, for everyone who's listening, the information, like, I don't know if the same people are listening this week that were listening last week. So I'm going to make this very clear before I start. Do not believe me. Check it for yourself. The things that I'm about to say, do not believe me. Do not just go by me saying it. I want you to check it for yourself. Okay? Secondly, what I'm about to say is not personal. It has nothing to do about you, about factual, it's about factual, about provable evidence. What I'm going to do is give you evidence straight out the Bible and historical evidence that no one should be celebrating Christmas. Okay? And it has nothing whatsoever to do with what you believe to be Jesus. For those of you who believe that in Jesus, it has nothing to do with that, with him. Okay? With that being. It has absolutely nothing to do with it. Now I'm going to go forward and give you this information. Let me go into my head here. Okay. For all of the people who happen to have Bibles, I want you to now get your Bible. And if you have one, get a dictionary. And I'll wait. I'm going to wait about 60 seconds. Because if you are a devout religious person, whether you be a Jehovah's Witness, a Baptist, whatever the case may be, a devout Christian, or any other sect like that, you should have a Bible handy. So I'm going to give you time to get your Bible and a dictionary. I very much doubt that a lot of people out there have a dictionary handy. But as Nuwapians, we were trained to always have a Bible, a Quran, a Torah, and a dictionary. Always. So as I'm talking, I'm just giving you time to get a hold of your Bible and get a hold of a dictionary. Okay, now that should be, hopefully I've just given you enough time to do that. What I'm about to state is in the King James Version of the Bible. I'm not going to go into the details about the definition of the word version. Okay? You need to get your dictionary and look up the definition of the word version. Because if you look at the second page of your Bible, of your King James Version of the Bible, it doesn't say there, this is the King James Bible translated out of the original tongues. It says this is the King James Version, the original of the Bible. Excuse me, let me rephrase that. Let me say it again. Let me be more accurate. It does not say on the literal second page, this is the King James Bible, the original tongues. It says this version of the Bible translated from the original tongues. Okay? So this is King James's version of the Bible. It's not the Bible. It's his version of it. Okay? So, that's just a little background information. Now, let's go into, since we're speaking about Christmas, let's deal with Christmas in detail. Okay? First, let's look at the Christmas tree. Let's take the Christmas tree. We'll start there. And then I'm going to go into, I'm going to go into a whole lot of things. But first, we're going to start with the Christmas tree. Now, please open up your Bibles to Jeremiah
Hello?
Zakim, did I ask you to have your Bible and a dictionary ready?
Yeah. But
Do you have it?
But no, my Bible is actually at my sister's house.
Okay.
Because I
Hold on
left.
for a second, people. Hold on for for a second.
I left it in the basement. I never
Hold on for a second.
unpacked it. Oh.
Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay, hold on for a second.
Wait a minute. Keep talking. Let me run and get my godmother's Bible. It should be somewhere. Hold. Keep going.
Just hold on for a second. I'm just looking for the exact verse. Just give me a second.
Yeah.
Do you have yours?
Let me see. Man, I'll be all night looking for it. I don't even know where she got it. It might be in her room, or she's in the room sleep.
Hold on, because I'm pulling it up right now.
Huh? I don't know where's that. I mean, we're just going to waste time if I'm going to look for it. But you can keep talking, but I'll just let me go.
Okay, look. Here's the deal. See, Zakim, this is exactly why I asked you to get it, to have it ready hours ago.
No, you
okay,
said
so
here's the deal. You told me you was going to have one.
Okay, when I pull it up here, what it's actually saying is this. You'll find. Okay, well here it is. Here it is. Listen carefully. Listen carefully. Listen carefully. I'm giving you word for word what it says in the King James Version of the Bible. Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 3 through 5. Again, this is Jeremiah in the King James Version of the Bible. Jeremiah chapter 10, verses 3 through 5. This is what it says. 3. For the customs of the people are in vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with an axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fashion it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good. I'm going to now break this down. This is why I wanted everybody also to have a dictionary, because I know your preachers and imams and your rabbis and such and so forth and other people who want you to celebrate this Christmas are going to put definitions to words that are their own personal definitions or the dogmatic definitions of these words. We're speaking American English. In American English, we have what I'll call a basic understanding book of what these words mean that we're using. That basic understanding book is called a dictionary. When you go to school, when you learn definitions of words, you are taught to use a dictionary. You're not taught to use dogmatic ideas, theories, opinions, and conjecture. You're taught to go to the dictionary, and that will give you the common definition of each word. Thus, you need dictionaries. Okay? So, 3, this is Jeremiah Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 3 through 5. The first one, 3, verse 3. It says, "For the customs of the people are in vain." We all should know the definition of the word vain, to be in vain, something in vain. I won't even go into the definition because I think 99% of you out there know that if something is in vain, that's like, I'll give you an idea. To speak to someone verbally who is to speak to a deaf person verbally, you are speaking to them in vain. Okay? Why? Because they cannot hear the sound vibrations that are coming out of your mouth. Thus, there is this thing called sign language. Okay? So, that first statement is saying, the customs of the people are in vain. Now, what are these customs that are in vain? That, since this is supposed to be the words of God, what are these customs that the people have that are in vain? Well, it continues and says, "For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with an axe." Verse 4, "Then they deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not." Now let me ask you this. When you go and get a Christmas tree, you go into the forest. I mean, in the modern cities, you go to a store and buy one, whether it be a plastic one or a real one. I've one. But the point is, in the biblical times, they went and with an axe and chopped down a quote-unquote Christmas tree. Then they brought it into their house. Now, if you have a Christmas tree in your house, whether it is fake, whether it is an artificial tree or a live, we all know it's an evergreen or a pine tree. We all know that, and I'll go into why that is in a moment, later on in the conversation. But we take the Christmas tree. Now, imagine in your head, now, a lot of you probably have a Christmas tree that you could actually turn and look at. It is adorned with silver and gold. You bet your breath it is. Little trinkets of silver and gold on it. It is adorned with silver and gold. Also, you have put it in a situation where it cannot, I will read 4 again. "They deck it with silver and gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not." Now, we all know that a tree can't move on its own. We know that it can't walk or anything like that, okay? It sways in the wind, but the tree itself doesn't move. The limbs may, and the leaves and the branches and things may sway in the wind, but a tree doesn't move. We all know this. This is common, basic child knowledge, okay? So what does it mean by fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not? That means it's fastened in a way where it cannot fall over. It cannot topple over. So you right now have that tree that happens to be adorned with silver and gold, so it cannot fall over. It cannot move. You actually have this in your house. Okay? Then it goes on in 5 and says, "They are not upright," meaning these people who are in vain. "They are not upright as a palm, but speak not, they must needs be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, For they cannot do evil, nor can they do good. Excuse me, that's not the people they're talking about. Still speaking about the tree. Okay, the people is later on. So my point is, it's not my point. The point of Jeremiah, the point of the word of God, is to go into the woods with an axe, hack down a tree, bring it into your house, adorn it with silver and gold, and of course make it in a situation where it cannot topple over, is an act of vain people. For the customs of the people are in vain. For one cuts a tree out of the forest, the work of the men, with an axe. They deck it with silver and gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. Those are the words of your God, saying that exactly what you're doing with this tree is an act of vain people. It's the people doing this in vain. Right in your Bible, it says it. Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 3 through 5. Now I forgot to say something in the beginning of this. Nothing I'm saying is personal. Okay, I've said that. But also, if after you hear certain things and some things you might like hearing, some things you may not like hearing, hey, do your thing, okay? If you find it necessary to disobey the God that you say that you love and worship, then so be it, okay? I'm not, your judge or anything like that. And for those of you who do not believe in this God, as people are saying, but you just follow the tradition because grandma did it and grandma taught ma how to do it and ma taught you how to do it and blah, blah, blah. Well, let me speak on this tradition thing. Here's an analogy, a story, a parable. There was these two daughters, and they saw their mother take the pot roast at Christmas and cut just the tips of both sides of the pot roast off, put it in the pan, and put it in the oven and cook it. And both the daughters asked the mother, "Why did you cut the ends of the pot roast off?" And Ma says to the daughters, "Oh, it's tradition. Grandma did it." So the daughters go and ask Grandma, "Hey, Grandma, Ma, we saw her cut the ends of the pot roast off and put it in the oven for Christmas. She never does that any other time she cooks a pot roast. Why is she doing it at Christmas? She said she got it from you. How come you started?" And Grandma says, "Oh, I learned it from my mom, great-grandma. And it just so happens great-grandma happens to be alive. She happens to be alive. So great-grandma shows up at dinner time, at Christmas dinner time. And one of the daughters remembers, "Oh, yeah, the ends of the pot roast, blah, blah, blah. Hey, Grandma, great-grandma, Ma said we saw Ma cut the ends of the pot roast off and put it in the oven, but she only does this at Christmas time. And she says she does it because it's a tradition that she got from from Grandma. So we went and asked Grandma where she got it from. She said she got it from you. Where'd you get it from?" Great-grandma says, "Oh, I did it because I couldn't fit the pot roast in the pan." So the point is that people need to find out the origins of their traditions to see if their tradition even makes sense. If their traditions actually are factual to what they believe their traditions are. The reason the mama was doing it, Grandma, why? Grandma never asked great-grandma why. They just did it because they saw the other do it. They never questioned. But if some of them questioned, they would find out the only reason she did it, she couldn't fit it in the pan. There wasn't nothing special to it, but they picked it up and made it something special, some tradition. Come on, start thinking, start asking questions, okay? Not necessarily good nor bad, but you have to ask questions about the origins of them. Okay, you have to find the reasons behind them. So your Christmas tree, you can look in your Bible and see the origin of the religious Christmas tree, and that your God says you're not supposed to. That is the act of vain people. You can see it right there. Again, Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 3 through 5. Okay. Historical information about the Christmas. There's just historical information in the Bible, okay? There is no place in the Bible, no place in the Bible is the Christmas tree nor Christmas celebrated. Christmas tree is not in the Bible except for in Jeremiah, and they're saying they're not even supposed to go to the woods. They don't say Christmas tree. They say a tree. Okay? A tree out of the forest. Bring it into your house. Adorn it with trinkets, adorn it with silver and gold, and fasten it so it can. That's the actions of vain people. That's what it says. But you do it every year. Every single year, and then you involve others, your children, your grandchildren, into a vain tradition that your Bible, your God says is vain. So are you following your God's words or you're not? Well, now, I think personally, I'll just put it out there. I believe after hearing this, here's why. Because you're in the habit of doing it. You've already conditioned yourself. You've already been conditioned to do it. And you've already conditioned your children to accept a vain action that your God says is vain. Okay? You've already accepted it. It's already part of your makeup. You've been doing it since you were a child. So now you can involve your children and your grandchildren in this thing that your God says is vain. Does your God enjoy vain people? Does your God love vanity? Of course not. Let's be logical about it. So anyway, the other point is this. Christmas itself, the religion, the holiday, the celebration, it was not even celebrated until about 3 centuries after the person you're calling Jesus was gone. Okay? At least 3 centuries afterwards. Now, just so you can understand this, the origins of Christmas, the celebration of Christmas, okay? The origins of the celebration of Christmas actually was called, let me get the word correctly in my head here. Saturnalia. That's what it is. Saturnalia. Saturn and all of that, but I'm not going to go into that. Saturnalia. Okay. It actually was a ritual that was performed in early December. Okay. Let me just give you some information that you can actually check easily. Okay. In the I think it was 600 or 500 AD, Pope Gregory the First, what was the guy's name? God, what was his name?
There was a pope.
Ritual in Christianity. The Pope Gregory the First gave Saint Augustine to incorporate the pagans that were all around, their rituals into Christianity. Why did he do this? He did it because he incorporated their rituals into Christianity. That would more call followers into Christianity, into the religion of Christianity. Fattening the Pope's pockets. How was he going to fatten his pockets, you ask me? Here's how. Because you know that you've got this thing. It doesn't say to do it in the Bible.
No.
Because an individual told you to do it. And they've been doing it for generations now, and you don't even think or question why. Okay? Here's how they put money in their pockets through this. It's because when you sit in the church, don't they pass the collection plate? Sure do. Don't they send envelopes to your house in the mail and saying donate this and donate that? Well, so that's the Pope, the Vatican, is a country unto itself. A country unto itself. It has its own bank, its own laws, such and so forth. It is its own country. How do you think it got its own bank and its own country? Through loot, money, dinero, chavos, yen, dollars, currency. Yeah, that's right. And this is one of the methods they did it through. Okay? So they incorporated a lot of these pagan rituals into Christianity. Again, just for those of you who missed it, it was Pope Gregory the First. He gave the order to the Archbishop of Canterbury. His name is Saint Augustine. Okay? So, that is about your Christmas tree and how Christmas got involved into Christianity. Okay? None of the people in, I have to say it like this, none of the people after Jesus supposedly was crucified and died and resurrected and went to heaven and all of this, no one celebrated Christmas. None of the devout people and Christians and none of them. It was a pagan thing. The Christians after Jesus' death called it a pagan thing. Okay, the Christmas tree. It was paganism, but they incorporated that paganism into Christianity. Pope Gregory the First in 600 AD. He did it. And now you, from tradition, you are now actually celebrating and participating in a pagan ritual. Now, I know some of you will say, well, it's not pagan because we look at it differently and da-da-da-da. Look, you can look at it any way you want to. For those of you supposedly believe in your God, hey, your God clearly says, Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 3 through 5, that is an act of a vain people. The vain people were pagans, but you want to participate in it anyway. Like I said, I'm saying facts here that you can check. I don't want you to believe me. I want you to check it for yourself. Yet, you're still going to, I guarantee 99.9% of you who every day will go to church or whatever, however often you go to church, you praise God and all of this, you will still participate in a pagan ritual that your God says you shouldn't be doing. That is the act of a vain people. You will incorporate your children into doing it. You will incorporate your grandchildren into doing it, and you will incorporate other people's children into doing it, and raise them into doing a pagan ritual. Hey, I only speak the facts. It's not personal. It's just factual. Okay. The next part of this Christmas thing. Jesus is supposed to, I have to do it. Jesus is supposed to have died on the cross. They say Christmas is about the resurrection of Jesus, and he rose in Christmas and such and so forth. Okay, That's all well and fine. But like I said, I'm going to go by the evidence. I'm going to go by factual information that is supported by provable evidence. I'm not going to go by dogmatic statements or theories, conjectures, opinions, or anything like that. I'm just going to stick to the facts that can be supported by provable evidence. Okay. Let's deal with this. You need to know this first. There are two key factors in the origins of Christmas. One is Nimrod, and the other one is great-grandson Noah. Excuse me, let me make this, I said that wrong. One is Nimrod. He is the great-grandson of Noah, and his mother and wife. That's right, Nimrod's mother. This is historical information. You can just check the historical records. Go and ask. Hey, any of you who are in school still, go and ask your history professors. Okay? Or, which I find to be more logical, do some searching and researching. You have this wonderful thing, like I said last week. You have this wonderful thing. Beautiful. Beautiful thing. And I know the people to the public are hating that they did it. It's called a cell phone. You call it a cell phone. I call it a walking computer. It's a computer in our pocket because our cell phones can do everything a computer does. In other words, you have access to this thing on your cell phone called the World Wide Web. I know you call it the Internet, but it's actually the World Wide Web that gives you access to the Internet, okay? So my point is this. Get on your phone, get on the web, get on your computer, and pull up Nimrod, the history of Nimrod, and you will find out who Nimrod was and such and so forth. But anyway, Nimrod, his mother was his wife. Her name was Semiramis, not Samarius, sorry, Semiramis. Now, just so you understand this, Semiramis is a way of saying Sumeria. Okay, Sumeria is the oldest civilization on the planet, that they found on the planet. Okay, meaning civilization, meaning had paved roads, commerce, businesses, sewer systems, houses, not huts and things like this. Really, it's Samaria. Okay, it's called nowadays. It's called in contemporary times. It's called Iraq. Okay, Iraq used to be called Samaria. Look it in your Bible. Okay, and Chaldea. Okay, was another name for it. But anyway, my point is this. After the death of Nimrod, Samaria is promoted to believe that Nimrod was God. Okay? She actually said and taught people that Nimrod was God. She claimed that she was that Nimrod, listen to this carefully. Semiramis claimed that Nimrod, after Nimrod died, was a full-grown evergreen tree. That sounds familiar. Evergreen tree, pine tree. Wow, that's the tree that you bring in your house for Christmas. Remember, you'll see the connection in a minute. Okay, full-grown evergreen tree that sprang out of the roots of I guess you'll call it like how can I put this? A better way to say it is this. After Nimrod died, she said, okay, she promoted to the people that Nimrod, that an evergreen tree grew out of like a tree stump that was supposed to be dead, okay? And that tree stump was Nimrod. No, excuse me, the evergreen tree was Nimrod, okay? And it was a symbol of Nimrod's, Your word for it, people, is resurrection. Okay? That's your word for it. Dying and then coming back to life is resurrection in the religious world. Outside of the religious world is called reincarnation. Okay? You die and you come back again as something else. Reincarnation, resurrection. Okay? Okay, now on every year they celebrated his birth. And she said she said, and how do people believe this is the same reason people believe things nowadays. She said he was the evergreen tree, okay, and that on the day of his birth, of the day that Nimrod was born, Nimrod came back to this is after Nimrod died. She said that this evergreen tree grew out of a dead stump, and that evergreen tree was Nimrod, and that Nimrod, on the anniversary of his birth, would come back to the evergreen tree and put presents under the evergreen tree for the children. Don't believe me. Hey, don't believe me. Check it for yourself. When I first heard that, I was like, come on, man, nobody would be dumb enough to believe some garbage like that. If I was living back, I'd never believe that. You just told me it was the evergreen tree, and now you're telling me he's coming back to the evergreen tree to put come on, give me a break. Historical fact. It's actual historical fact. Yes, it is. The searching and the researching for many. Look, anybody who knows me knows. Anyway, I'm a Nuwapian. Okay, we're scientists. That should say it all. Okay. But that's what she said, and people believed it. They actually believed it. Now, here's the other thing. She had a son. Semiramis had a son. Some people call him Gilgamesh. Some people in Egypt, they called him Horus. Okay? Now, she, how can I put this? She said that Nimrod, the spirit of Nimrod, visited her and left her pregnant with a boy, and the boy was Nimrod reincarnated.
That sounds familiar.
Now, hear this again. She actually said that the spirit of Nimrod came to her. Now, remember, this is actually his mother, who is also his wife. But he's dead, right? He died, right? But she said that Nimrod's spirit came to her and impregnated her, and gave her, and she was impregnated and had a son, a boy. Sounds familiar to me. Sounds very, very familiar to me.
Yeah.
Spirit goes to a woman, and she has a boy. She doesn't have a girl. She has a boy. Does that story sound familiar to anyone else who's listening other than me? Because I know it sounds kind of familiar. Okay? Now, remember what I've already said about what the Bible says in Jeremiah, and I've already said the history of Saturnalia, okay, the original Christmas and where it comes from. It was a pagan ritual celebrated in late December, like y'all doing this December 25th. That's late December, okay? And the Nimrod situation here. Now in that time, and don't believe me. Please don't believe me. Please don't believe me. I want you to do the searching and the researching. I really, really do. Do it yourself and check it. Okay? Now, Semiramis also in the same time, she said that, I'm sorry, it's just funny to me because it's just, anyway, Semiramis and the son that was a miraculous conception, the spirit of Nimrod, like the archangel, came to her and impregnated her, and they had this son. At the time, in that era, Semiramis and the son were worshipped exactly in the same fashion as the Madonna and child are worshipped in contemporary religion and contemporary mentality and such and so forth. Exactly the same way. So this rituals that you have and these belief systems that you all have been conditioned to have, if you did the searching and the researching, you would actually find out where they're coming from, what the origins of these things are, okay? Because they have nothing to do with what you believe they do, nothing what you are taught they do. And I want to make this as a side note. Your religious leaders know this. Your religious leaders know what I have just said is a fact, but they're not telling you.
Right.
They're not telling those you followers. Why are they not telling you? The same reason that Pope Gregory I didn't tell the people who were not celebrating Christmas before he had St. Augustine incorporate that ritual, that pagan ritual, into Christianity. He didn't tell those people, hey, man, you know what? This is, come on, man. There's a reason he didn't tell them. It's called manipulation. It's called controlling the masses of people that are under your control. It's called keep those dollars coming in.
Right.
Keep these people fooled. Okay? Like it or not, that's what I'm saying. Okay, you need to do the searching and the researching because the facts are there. Okay, the facts are there. All you got to do is check it.
Yep.
Okay, but like I've also said, I personally, this is my own personal feeling because I have seen this thousands of times. Even though you're going to get all this information and hear all of this, and even if you do the searching and the researching, which I doubt you will, but I hope you actually will, you're still going to participate in this ritual. You're still going to have your children participate in the ritual. Here's one of the reasons why. Let's say you actually say to yourself, damn, that's real? And you actually find out, doing this by searching and researching, that it actually is a fact, everything I've said. It's a 100% fact. So now you're going to go to your child, who you personally have raised, to participate in this ritual. You're actually going to go to your churches and your synagogues and your mosque or whatever, all these people, and you're actually going to tell them, wait a second. Everything we've been doing here, this is all nonsense. This is bull. This is all paganism. We're not supposed to be doing this. It has nothing to do with it. You can open up the Bible and show it to them. If there was Muslims or whatever, I could show you all this too. Okay, in the Quran, in the Torah, that none of this. That's why actually Muslims, real Muslims, don't celebrate no Christmas. Okay, real Hebrews or Jews, as you call them, not real because the real. I'm not even going to go into that. But the contemporary Hebrews and Jews do not celebrate Christmas. The original ancient Hebrews and Jews did not celebrate Christmas, nor did the original Muslims. They did not celebrate Christmas. Oh, and I have to make this clear. Stop calling Muslims Muslims. That's like calling a Christian a piston and a Jew a boo. They are called Muslims. They are not called Muslims. Okay? So, that's an insult. It's just strictly an insult. Okay? I'm neither one. I don't have any religions. Okay? But I'm respectful of people's beliefs. Okay? I deal with factual information that is supported by provable evidence. But to say to somebody you're a Muslim, for all you Christians out there, How would you like it if somebody said you're a piston? Hi, hey, piston, how you doing, piston? Oh, they're a piston. You would say, come on, I'm not a piston, I'm a piston.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So how about you give the same respect that you would want to others?
Right.
Okay, so now, wait, what did you say, brother?
No, I said just agreeing.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I apologize. Okay, so, back to this mother Semiramis and her miraculously conceived son. Okay. What was I saying here? Oh, okay. So they will worship in the same fashion with the same dogmatic perception as people have for the Madonna and Child in contemporary times. Okay. Now, as time went on, of course, time goes as eras go and generations come and go. The names of these people, Semiramis and the son Horus and Gilgamesh and such, they change over time. Of course, that's the way things go. Change over time, and depending on the region of the world you're in, it depends on the language and such. Those names change. Okay, but also, this is something else that the people themselves, because of their belief and faith. Now, you also need to open up a dictionary and look at the definition of the word belief and the word faith. You need to look in the dictionary, not no concordance. A concordance is not called a dictionary. Okay? Mm-hmm. A concordance is someone's opinion, someone's theory, someone's point of view. I said a dictionary. Okay? Don't take my words and reform them in your mind because of whatever dogmatic perceptions you might have. I said a dictionary. I did not say a concordance. Okay? Back to the point. Okay, so over time, as I said, names have changed of these people and such and so forth. But this was also because of belief and faith over the generations of coming and going. In the wintertime, we all know that the days are shorter in the winter than they are in the summer because of going to go into the astronomical reasons, okay, and solar reasons. But here, suffice it to say, anybody with if you can look and see, here it is for people who say, no, that can't be. You ever notice now, since we are in December, it's winter. You notice how let's say at like 6 o'clock, it's dark in America, okay? In our hemisphere, it's dark at 6 o'clock.
Yep.
But in the summertime, let's say it's the middle of August, and it's 6 o'clock in the evening. It's sun out. Yeah, right. So the days get shorter in the winter. Okay? The daylight gets shorter in the winter than it is in the summer. So I had to say that for this. In the summer, back then, being that the days in the winter were shorter, they thought, okay, that how can I put this? Hold on for a second. Let me get the correct wording. Okay, I'll put it like this. People back then believed you have to understand this first. People believed that the sun was made by God. Like a lot of religious people nowadays, or majority of them, they believe everything was made by God. So one of those things is the sun, S-U-N, not S-O-N, S-U-N, was made by God. Okay? So back then, before science, okay, before the Nuwapians, before the Moors, before the Egyptians, okay, brought science to the world, okay?
Uh-huh.
Factual information that is supported by provable evidence to the world. The people believe that the sun, when it okay, I have to see, I'm a Nuwapian, I have to say this accurately. The sun doesn't move. Okay? I'm going to use the phrases that most of you understand. The sun rising and falling, rising and setting. Okay? But the sun doesn't move. The earth rotates. Okay? We actually were taught that in school, but at the same time we say, well, the sun rose this morning. The sun went down at night. What? What is that? Anyway, so I want to make this clear. I'm just using these terms that most of you are familiar with. Because if I was talking to another Nuwapian, I wouldn't say the sun rose in the morning and set in the evening.
Yeah.
When the rotation of the earth, in our hemisphere at this time, we cannot see the sun. Okay? And at this time of the daylight, we can see the sun. Okay? Because the earth, so I want to make that clear. Okay, for those those fake Nuwapians. Okay? Okay, so they believe that God made the sun. Okay, S-U-N. And when the sun went down, okay, below the horizon, that the sun died. The sun, and they actually called it, and I'm going to use obviously American English, the Son of God. Okay? And what they said was S-U-N of God. Died. And when it rose in the morning, they said the S-U-N of God resurrected, came back to life. Where have I heard that before?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I know where I've heard that before. In your religions. In your religions. Because like I said, over time the names change because of generation and generation dying and another one coming in and such and so forth, and faith and belief and disregard and not having the knowledge of factual information supported by provable evidence. They just have faith and belief. Look those words up in the dictionary.
Yeah.
They believe that the Son, S-U-N, of God, died. They actually believe it literally died when it went down below the horizon. And they actually literally believed that it resurrected or came back to life when it started rising above the horizon. You have to understand this. So over time, the S-U-N was changed into the mentally and verbally into the S-O-N of God, dying and resurrecting. It's a fact. You do not have to like a fact. For those of you, I'm going to make this clear, for those of you who have children or even deal with children on a regular basis, you have told children things, and some of the things you have told them, they can't stand it, and they deny it, and they argue and all kinds of things that it's not true, that it's not factual, but you know it's factual. Why? How do you know it's factual? Because you've checked certain things. So all I'm asking you to do is do the searching and the researching. Because what I have just said to you, everything I have said is an absolute fact. It's factual information that is supported by provable evidence. There is no theory in it. There is no conjecture in it. There is no opinion in it. There is none of that. It's only factual. It's an actual fact. like it or not. You may not like it, just like a child may not like a fact. That doesn't change it being a fact. Right? Doesn't change it at all. Child, you're going to have to do your homework before you get a good grade in school. I can just get a good grade. You understand? So for all of you who are dealing with children, okay, you yourself have to remember, you have to do your homework before you can get an A in class.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a fact. Okay, next. Now we're going to deal with, how can I do this one on you? Okay, let's deal with this resurrection thing, since this is part of the Christmas thing. Now, I've already put where the resurrection idea comes from. The Nimrod and Semiramis and Nimrod dying in evergreen tree, and Nimrod put presents under the tree for the kids, or the spirit of Nimrod put presents under the tree for kids, like you do for your kids at Christmas time. The same evergreen and the presents under the tree, and the trinkets of gold, and adorning it with gold and silver, and taking it and fastening it so it cannot topple over. You're doing the same rituals. With the same rituals. Okay? You can put any excuse you want for doing it. Just like those people back there, some of them put excuses back in that era. They put excuses for doing it too.
Yeah.
So you're going to use the same excuse, nothing new under the sun. So you're going to you're going to rehash old excuses. Like I said in the beginning of this, I'm sure that 99.9% are still going to do this. Be able to explain to your child or to their children or to your church or to your synagogue or mosque or whatever. You're not going to be able to explain to people, hey, check this out. What we've been doing is wrong. We've been lied to. We've been fooled. We've been given disinformation, or as Malcolm X used to say, we've been bamboozled. We've been hoodwinked. You don't want to admit it to yourself. You don't want to, okay? Because when you say to a child, look, you the one given this lie to, this disinformation, even though you have been misinformed, okay, it's fine. But you have now passed it on to a child. And so the child who trusts your word as being honest, as the authority figure, is obviously going to say, but you've been telling us da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
And you say, well, the truth is I was wrong. I thought that was true, but it's not true. And this is the facts now. I got some information. I did some searching and researching, and I found out it's a fact. Now your child is going to be Christmas morning, and his friends have his or her friends have all these presents.
Yeah.
And your child is going to say, and your child's friend are going to say, where are your presents? Don't your mama and daddy or your guardian, whatever, love you? Didn't they give you? Didn't Santa Claus bring you no presents? And your child will not, because you have traditionally trained it in the tradition you were raised in, is not going to have the mental ammunition to defend those verbal assaults.
Yep. So
your child's going to then return to you, heartbroken, dismayed, crushed, looking for a way to answer its friends and wondering, where's this present? Come on, come on, let's be real, people.
Hey, let's say something real quick.
So, okay, that's one reason why you're not going to be able to tell you don't want to deal with that. That's the problem. You don't want to deal with it.
Right.
It's a child. A child will get over stuff like, please, man, child gets mad 1 second, runs a tantrum, 30 seconds later, is happy and having fun. But the problem is you don't want to deal with that situation. Okay? You don't want to deal with the situation of going into your church or your church members who've been raised by the same traditions and dogmatic things that you have been. And now you're coming and breaking tradition and opening up your own Bible and showing that your own God says don't do it. Showing it. Saying it's wrong. Giving them the history of it and all of this. And they're not going to, and then you're not going to want to deal with this that they're going to give you. The cold shoulder. Those looks. Those whispers behind your back. You don't want those things. You want to be a conformist. You still want to be part of the pack. Since you're supposed to love your God so much, why don't you be part of your God's pack?
Yeah.
Why don't you do that? Why don't you follow your God's pack? Oh no, it's more important to you for you to follow your human pack than your God's pack. You don't believe in your God as much as you believe in your humans that are sitting in the pew next to you, do you? Your actions speak louder than your words. Your actions speak louder than your words. You can say, yeah, I believe in God more than anything. Show it. Show it. Facts are facts. Deal with them. All you have to do is stand on facts. That's it. Otherwise, according to your belief system and your faith system, your God's not going to forgive that. Because now you have the truth. And the truth is supposed to what? Set you free? It doesn't even say that in the Bible. Next time somebody says to you, the Bible, it says in the Bible, the truth will set you free. Tell them, ask them these words. Show it to me. Show me that in the Bible. Show me where it says it. Here's what they're going to show you. What it actually says in the Bible is these words. The truth will make you free, not set you free. Now, for those of you who are saying, what difference does it make? First of all, it's supposed to be the words of God. If God meant set you free, he would have said set you free. If he meant make you free, he said make you free. You can't change the words of God, can you? Oh, yes, you can, because the tradition and the dogmatic statements that you've been taught set you free. No, and the other thing is this. It actually says make you free. Now, I'm going to give you the difference between set free and make free. Let's say a prisoner, okay, somebody's in jail. Somebody's in prison. And they are set free on January 1st of 2018. They're set free. That person can smack a guard in the face and get 5 more years. That's being, set. You don't have to leave if you're set free. You can do things to stay. But if you're made free, you ain't got no choice. You got to get out of here. Look in the dictionary. Okay? And look at the words set free. Well, how about this? Here's another dictionary you can look at. Look at the dictionary. It's called Black's Law Dictionary. Black's Law Dictionary. And look at the legal definition of set free and made free. Then look in your normal everyday Webster's dictionary. Actually, you should look in an Oxford dictionary. Okay? Under the word made and the word set. And then put them in the context that we're talking. Made free, set free. But my point is, in the Bible, in the King James Version of the Bible, your God's words, not one yot nor tittle, that means a yot and a tittle. That is the smallest, like a comma or a period, and a tittle is like the smallest letter. Okay? Not one yot nor tittle shall be changed from the words of God. That means you can't change the words of God, nothing.
Yeah.
But they do it every day. They do it every day. They change the words of God every day. But it says in the Bible human beings change the words of God every day. That if you actually look it up and look at the words on the page, the words do not say the truth will set you free. It says the truth will make you free. So, what was I saying here? Oh, okay. Now, okay, first we're going to deal with this part. As Christianity is part of the resurrection and the supposed resurrection and such and so forth. Now, where does this resurrection thing come from? Meaning, what's the actual origins biblically of the resurrection? Here's the origins of it. Jonas, okay? It's in Matthew 12, verse 40. And Jesus said these words, according to the King James Version of the Bible. As Jonas was 3 days and 3 nights in the whale's belly, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. I'm going to read that again. Matthew, this King James Version of the Bible. Was 3 days and 3 nights in the whale's belly, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. Okay. Now, we're going to go to John chapter. Oh, first let me ask you something. I have to ask some questions about that statement that Jesus made in Matthew chapter 12, verse 40. As Jonas was 3 days and 3 nights in the whale's belly, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. Here's the question. Was Jonas in the whale's belly for 3 days and 3 nights? The answer is no. He was in the whale's belly for 3 days and 2 nights. Excuse me, that's incorrect. For 3 nights and 2 days, he was in the whale's belly. Secondly, my next question is this about that. When Jonas was in the belly of the whale, was he dead? No, he wasn't alive. He was breathing. His heart was beating. He was inhaling and exhaling oxygen. He was having emotions. He had a flesh and blood body. He wasn't dead. He was not dead. And at the end of the 3 days and 2 nights, what happened to Jonas? The whale did what? Came up on the beach and did what? He spit Jonas out. He threw up Jonas. He threw him up. Just like people throw up, he threw Jonas up on the beach. Was Jonas dead then? No, he was not. Jonas was alive, just like you and I are alive. Jonas was alive. Is Jonas dead in the belly of the whale? No, he was not. Jonas was alive in the belly of the whale. So, according to the words of Jesus, the being that you're calling Jesus, Jesus says in Matthew 12, verse 40, as Jonas, okay, that's like me saying, as I was in the store, as I was in McDonald's eating cheeseburgers, so was Mary in the McDonald's eating cheeseburgers. As I walked and got the number 6 bus, so did Mark get the number 6 bus. Follow?
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. Get a dictionary. Look at the word definition. Okay, so as Jonas was 3 days and 3 nights in the whale's belly, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the whale's belly. So that's him, Jesus saying, the person you're calling Jesus, saying, the same way Jonas was in the whale's belly, I'm going to be in the belly of the earth. Jonas wasn't dead in the belly of the whale. That means, well, we're going to see what it means, okay? Okay, we're going to see, because I don't like to give conjecture and none of that. And I'm not going to give the answer before. I'm just going to let the Bible prove it, even prove it. Y'all say it's the words of God. Prove it. That God makes no errors, God is perfect, and all of that, right? So that means what it says in the book is the words of God. It's not my words. Like it or not. I don't care what your preachers and your imams and your rabbis have been disinforming you and misinforming you and bamboozling and hoodwinking you with. I care about one thing and one thing only. I am a Nuwapian. Nuwapians are scientists. We deal with factual information that is supported by provable evidence. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now we're going to go to John chapter 9, verse 31. John, and this is the King James Version of the Bible. John chapter 9, verse 31. The Jews, therefore, because it was the preparation that the body should not. Now, we all know Jesus was on the cross, right? According to the story, Jesus was on the cross. Now, we're going to find out when Jesus was taken off of the cross. Off of the cross. Because he was supposed to be in the belly of the earth for 3 days and nights. Like he says, according to this King James Version, as Jonas was in the belly of the whale for 3 days and 3 nights, so shall the Son of Man be in the belly of the earth for 3 days and 3 nights. That's 3 days and 3 nights. Not 2 days and 3 nights, not 1 day and 5 nights, not 3 this and 2 that, not 2 this and 1 that, but 3 and 3. Those are the words of your God, according to what your belief is and your faith is. Okay. The Jews, therefore, because it was the preparation that the bodies should not remain upon the cross on the Sabbath day. Again, this is John chapter 9, verse 31. The Jews, therefore, because it was the preparation that the body should not remain on the cross upon the cross on the Sabbath day. I'm going to read that again. John chapter 9, verse 31. The Jews, therefore, because it was the preparation that the bodies should not remain upon the cross on the Sabbath day. Should not remain on the cross on the Sabbath day. Should not remain on the cross on the Sabbath day. It was the preparation. So this was the day before the Sabbath day. Why? How do you know that? Because that the bodies should not remain upon the cross on the Sabbath day. Mm-hmm. That's the statement. This is John chapter 9, verse 31.
Yep.
So, it comes to mind then, when is the Sabbath day? Because the day before the Sabbath day, we can't know what the day before Sabbath day is until we know what the Sabbath day is. Okay. Just so you can understand this, and like I said, don't believe me, check it out. The Sabbath day begins on Friday night at sundown and ends on Saturday night at sundown. Again, the Sabbath day is from Friday night sundown until Saturday night sundown. How can you find this out? Turn to your left or to your right. Ask the nearest Jew. Ask the nearest Hebrew. Go into a synagogue. Oh, you know what? Here's another way you can find out. There's this magical thing called the World Wide Web. Put into a search engine. When is the Sabbath day? Wow. And you'll find out that the Sabbath day is from Friday night sundown to Saturday night sundown. Okay, so now, being that the Sabbath day starts on Friday night, we're going to say that the bodies were on the cross until Friday night. Friday morning they were still there. Friday afternoon they were still there. And Friday night they were not there. Now, we have to also look at what is night when there are no clocks. What is night when you're dealing with candles and you're dealing with the sun and the moon and the stars as your source of light? Okay, when the sun and the moon are your indicators of night and day.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the indicators. Okay, so we're going to say, for sake of the conversation, that first light is day. When you have last light, you know, when the sun is going below, I said I'm using the terminology that you all, most of you, understand and accept. I'm not saying this as if I'm speaking to a scientist who knows that the sun doesn't move. Okay? So, you know, when the sun goes below the horizon, but you can still see the light. Now, for people who've always lived in the city, you may have no idea what I'm talking about. But people who've lived in the country or have gone to other countries and have seen, not even, well, I have, so I'm using that as an analogy, and seen the sun go below the horizon. If you know anybody who went to Florida, okay, or California, or Idaho, or Idaho, or South Dakota, or places like that, where there's open plains, okay, open areas, you can see, or like, if you go to a beach, and you can see the sun go down below the horizon. The whole sun, the entire sun is below the horizon, but you can still see sunlight, the solar rays, okay?
Yep.
I'm not calling that night. I'm saying when the sun has gone so far down, I'm using you understand, when the sun has gone so far down below the horizon that its solar rays no longer shine in the part of the hemisphere you happen to be in. That's night. So we're going to call that, let's say, 2 o'clock in the morning. Okay? What people call, let's say it's 2 a.m. Okay? Now, when the sun comes back up above the horizon, when the sun is above the horizon, let me say this differently. Not when the actual sun, the sun itself, you see the sun above the horizon again. I'm saying when the light of the sun, the solar rays of the sun, start coming above the horizon, dawn, okay, early dawn, like when hunters go out to hunt and things like that. Mm-hmm. We're going to call that morning, okay, and we'll call that 4 o'clock in the a.m., okay, so we're saying evening is 2 o'clock in the evening, or 2 o'clock a.m., and morning or daylight will be, let's say, 4 o'clock in the a.m. Okay, so the Sabbath day is Friday night sundown. Let's call, like I said, we'll say that's 2 o'clock in the morning, last light. It's before 2 o'clock, but we'll just give it an extra hour, 2 hours, okay? Actually, we know at 12 o'clock midnight, you can't see any sun. You can't see any solar rays. But I'm giving it time, and you'll see why in a moment.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say at 2 o'clock, they took Jesus off the cross. Okay? 2 o'clock. No, because it was Friday night, sundown is the Sabbath. So they took Jesus off the cross before all the bodies, Jesus and the other two that were supposedly with him, I'm not going to go into that. They took them off the cross Friday night, okay, sundown, okay. So we'll say it was 2 o'clock in the morning. They took them off on 2 o'clock. How can I explain this accurately? Okay, we'll say they took them off the cross just to make it easier for people to understand this. They say they took them off the cross at 11:59. At 11 o'clock at night on Thursday. 11 o'clock Thursday. It gets 12. It's dark then, but you know, it's not. It's nighttime. You don't see any solar rays.
Yeah.
So let's say 11 o'clock Thursday night, they took them off the cross. Okay? Because the Sabbath starts, let's just say, at 12 o'clock midnight Friday. Okay? No, that would not be accurate. Friday night, sundown. Okay, so let's say they took them off Friday morning. Friday morning they took them off the cross. Okay, so now remember where we're at here. Friday morning they are no longer on the cross. That's one day. Okay, we're going to give that as one day. Excuse me. Friday morning. It's not on the cross, so that's one day. Then they put him in the tomb that same day because they had to deal with it. You can't do any work on the Sabbath. Okay, and Sabbath is Friday night, sundown to Saturday night, sundown. And no work is allowed to be done on the Sabbath by any traditional groups. Just don't happen, don't do it. Even have city Jews in the contemporary era, don't. Just do your checking. Okay, you'll find out.
Yeah.
So Friday night, right? So Friday morning, they took him off the cross. That's one day. Okay? Remember that. That's one day. He's off the cross. Now, just let me get this for a second. Now in John chapter 20, verse 1. Verse 1. Remember, Friday morning. There was nobody on the cross. It was in the tomb already. Friday morning. Okay? Now, John chapter 20, verse 1 says, "The first day of the week cometh Mary Magdalene early, when it was yet dark, unto the sepulchre, to see the stone taken away from the sepulchre."
Mm-hmm.
This is verse 2. "Then she runneth and cometh to Simon Peter and to the other disciple, whom Jesus loved." That was Barnabas, just so all you know. But anyway, this is 2 again. "Then she runneth and cometh to Simon Peter and to the other disciple, whom Jesus loved, and said unto him, They have taken away the Lord out of the sepulchre, and we know not where they have laid him." Okay, so let's read this again. John, King James Version of the Bible. John chapter 20, verse 1. "The first day of the week, Mary Magdalene early, when it was yet dark." Let me read that again. This is the King James Version of the Bible. John chapter 20, verse 1. "The first day of the week cometh Mary Magdalene early, when it was yet dark, unto the sepulchre, and seeing the stone taken away from the sepulchre. Then she," this is verse 2, "Then she runneth and cometh to Simon Peter and to the other disciple, who Jesus loved, and said unto them, They have taken away the Lord out of the sepulchre, and we know not where they have laid him."
Okay.
So that means at that time when Mary Magdalene came to the sepulchre, Jesus had already been out. It was out of the sepulchre. I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt and say a tenth of a second just before she looked in is when Jesus left was resurrected, as y'all want to say, from the tomb, from the sepulchre. A tenth of a second, a nanosecond. Okay? How about that? Okay? Now let's look at this verse again. John, King James Version of the Bible, King James's version of the Bible, John chapter 20, verse 1. We're going to look at this in detail. "The first day of the week cometh Mary Magdalene early." Okay, it says first day of the week. What is the first day? What is the first day of the week? I already hear 99.9% of you saying it's Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I ask you to do this. Look at your nearest calendar. Literally, look at it. Look at it. what does the calendar say is the first day of the week? The first day of the week is Sunday. The last day of the week is Saturday. The first, for the 99.9 of you who said Monday's the first day of the week, Monday is the first day of the normal work week. It is not the first day of the calendar week. It's just not. Sorry. It's not. That's another, in the Bible it's called Leviathan. Leviathan is a veil placed over the eyes and blinds you to what is actually right in front of you. Okay? Sunday is the first day of the week. So it says here, Mary of Magdalene, it says, King James's version of the Bible, John chapter 20, verse 1. The first day of the week cometh Mary Magdalene. That means it was Sunday. I'm going to read it, and I'm going to put the correct day in. Sunday cometh Mary Magdalene early, when it was yet dark. That means the sun hadn't risen yet, meaning the solar rays hadn't shone yet, because it was yet dark, still dark. And Jesus was not in the person you're calling Jesus was not in the sepulcher. Okay, now Jesus was put in the sepulcher on Friday morning. That's one day. He was not in the sepulcher literally on Saturday night. No, we're going to stick exactly with what the book says. Early, when it was yet dark, on Sunday morning. He was already gone. Already gone. Already gone. So, Friday morning is one morning. Friday night is one night. Saturday morning is one morning. Is two mornings. Sunday, it was yet dark. Yet dark. That means it wasn't Sunday morning. It was still Saturday, but I'm going to give it Sunday morning. Right. That's only 2 days and 2 nights.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought, wait. Let's go back now.
Okay.
If that was only 2 days and 2 nights, why does it say in Matthew chapter 12, verse 40, Jesus says, as Jonas was 3 days and 3 nights in the whale's belly, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. That's where everybody's getting this 3 days and 3 nights from. Is based on, one of the things you're faithful and believing is he was in the tomb for 3 days and 3 nights.
Yeah.
Well, that's not what the word of your God says. The words of your God clearly say the indications are provable evidence. It was only and I'm giving leeway, it was only at the maximum 2 days and 2 nights. It wasn't even 3 days and 2 nights. It wasn't even 3 nights and 2 days. It was 2 days and 2 nights. You do the math, people. You do the math. Where's this 3 days and 3 nights thing?
Yeah.
Your pastors and your preachers and your rabbis and your imams are supposed to be learnt people. They're supposed to be scholars in this. They propagate this, they preach this especially every Christmas. And they propagate it and feed you this all the time. Yet, they've never actually sat down with you and said, well, look, the timing is all off here. There wasn't no 3 days and 3 nights. It was only 2 days and 2 nights. Giving the leeway I just gave.
Yeah.
They wasn't, see? That's more indication. They know the truth because they read this. They read this book. They read it more than you've read it. but they didn't tell you anything like that. They didn't reveal what's actually in it. All they're revealing to you is the dogmatic stuff that will keep you in their churches, giving them money so that they buy their little Mercedes Benzes, just like Pope George the First did with the pagans. Okay, when Saint Augustine, the Archbishop of Canterbury, they did this. It's been going on forever. It's a tried and true method. Why? Because they know you people aren't going to ask questions. Why? Because you have to go by faith. You have to go by belief. Let me break something down real quick. And I started this conversation. I don't mean any disrespect. I just deal with factual information that's supported by provable evidence. That's the same thing children think of Santa Claus.
Yeah.
That's the same reason children believe in Santa Claus.
Yep.
They have faith that Santa Claus will bring them presents if they're good boys and girls.
Yeah.
When Santa Claus ain't bringing them nothing. Why? Because Santa Claus doesn't exist. Santa Claus is a mythology. But that's the mythology for children. They have another mythology for adults. They pre-program the brain to believe mythology as being factual. Don't question. Just believe. Just have faith.
Yeah.
So you can, it is what it is. Okay. So that's, hopefully that has covered, that covered the Christmas tree. That in your Bible, okay, that has covered the Christmas tree. That has covered your the story of the resurrection, okay, and how it has nothing to do with Christmas at all, okay, and how Christmas actually is the celebration of pagans that was incorporated by what is his name again? Pope George the First.
Yeah.
In 600 AD, not 1600.
Okay.
In 600 AD, he gave an order to Saint Augustine. Saint Augustine was the Archbishop of Canterbury. Okay, in 1600 AD, he gave the orders to. Let me say this in order, so now all of this information can be put together. Okay. Pope George the First gave an order to the Archbishop of Canterbury, whose name is Saint Augustine. He gave him the order to incorporate a pagan ritual called Saturnalia. I'll spell it for you. S-A-T, S as in Sam. I'm not going to go through that, but S-A-T, T as in Tom, U-R-N as in Nancy, A-L-I-A. That was the name of the ritual, of the pagan ritual. That ritual they performed at the end of December, just like you're participating in doing this Christmas at the end of December. And just so you know, part of their ritual was orgies. Okay? It's having orgies. Okay? But that's something different. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, and this happened during the I keep saying 1600s. It was in 600 AD. Okay? And they did it just for one reason, and one reason, well, not one reason, but one major reason was so they can attract more followers into Christianity. Because when you got more followers, it's like in your churches, people, in your synagogues and in your mosques, people. Well, I can't say in synagogues, because in synagogues, they don't do it in the synagogues, but they send you letters with, you make your donations and such. I got to put this part in here. But people, I want you to use your common sense now. Only common sense now. God is all powerful. all powerful. That's your belief, right? No, God can do anything. Anything. He's all powerful, all knowing, and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then, here's a question. Why do you have to put money in the plate? I know what you all are saying. Keep the lights on, gas on. Wait a second, you're telling me God is not powerful enough to keep lights on? God is not powerful enough to keep the gas running? Is that what you're saying to me? Through us. God is working through us. God having. So this is what you're saying to me. God has to inspire you to give money to the pastor, okay, or to the, you call it giving it to the church, okay? If you look in your concordance, church, well, I don't like the concordance, but anyway, let's go to the dictionary. The word church, the etymology, the word origin of the word church. This is what the word church means. Group of people. So, are you giving the money to a group of people? No. When that collection plate and those donation envelopes that you send in and all of that, are they received by the church? No, it's not, because the building ain't receiving anything. The building don't come and stick out his hand. No, the building doesn't pass that plate around you. No, it doesn't.
Right.
Who does it? Human beings. Where's the money going to? Human beings are receiving that money. No, it's helping to keep the church open. Great. I hear you loud and clear. How are you keeping the church open and gas on? Because that money is going to what? Into the hands of physical beings all along the path. It goes into the preachers and the treasurer's hands. Then it goes, if they're doing it honestly, which I doubt, but if they're doing it honestly, they're taking that money and putting it into someone else's hands.
Yeah.
The electric company and the gas company.
Yeah.
The owners of those gas companies and electric companies. And those people are then keeping your gas, allowing you to have gas and electric. But I bet you if you go to those gas and electric people who own those gas and electric companies, and all those people who sit at those computers and turn your gas on and off and say, you believe in God? Are you a believer? I bet you they'll say yes. Good majority of them will say yes. Okay, so you're telling me God is not inspiring them just to keep your gas and lights on without receiving any financial, incentive? Isn't the incentive enough to believe in God? No, you must have some financial incentive to keep them lights and gas. Come on, people, use your common sense.
Yeah.
Use your common sense. Oh, I apologize. Common sense is not allowed when you're using faith and belief. Because all of you people know, every time you use your common sense, it conflicts with your faith and your belief.
Mm-hmm.
You know that, I know it, everyone knows it. That's why they say, don't ask questions. Wait a second. So let me ask you this, and then I'm going to get back to this Christmas thing. God gave you everything you have, mean all your abilities, your heartbeat, your blood and the way it flows, your arms, your legs, your eyes, your teeth, your tongue, your ears, your brain, your hair, or lack of thereof. Well, when you were born, you had hair. Or as we get older, you know how it goes. Okay, but my point is this. He gave you your brain also, right?
Mm-hmm.
He gave you your fingers and all the abilities and faculties, that everything that your fingers can do. He gave you your legs and all the things that your legs can do, right?
Yep.
He did this also with your brain. He gave your brain and all the faculties of your brain. One of those faculties, some of those faculties that is God-given, is logic, reasoning. When you're a child, one of the things that everybody knows is, for those who are believers, God-given is a child. What's the main thing a child does? A child brain does. It's inquisitive. A child is always asking questions. Why is that? You give the child an answer, and it says, well, why is that? You can give it another answer. Why is that? Why is the sun out? What is that in the sky? Oh, it's the sun. Why is the sun? You understand what I'm saying? Everybody who's been around children long enough knows exactly what I'm talking about. The first thing children do that is in us naturally is to question.
Yep.
But when you have faith and you have belief, you're taught not to question. Another thing God is, as you believe anyway, God is putting to us is, okay, clinical thinking, analytical abilities, all of those things, common sense. But when faith and belief are in play, all the abilities that God has given us, we're told to disregard. So someone is telling me the abilities that God gave me, and I look at God completely different than most of them, okay? But the abilities that my God gave me, someone is telling me to disregard those, not use those, that's anti-God. So anyone who's telling me to disregard, not use what God gave me, what my God gave me, is against my God.
Mm-hmm.
Strictly against my God. You can't be telling me something that is godlike or in behalf of my God, because my God gave me these things. My God has blessed me with these abilities, and you're telling me not to use these abilities.
Yeah.
Rather, have faith and belief. No. You can't be working for God, not the God I know. You got to be working anti-God. Okay, you have to be anti-Christ, anti-God. You know exactly what I'm saying. Okay, so use your common sense, people. Okay, so back to this. Gregory the First, Pope Gregory the First, gave the order to the Archbishop of Canterbury, who is Saint Augustine. Told Saint Augustine incorporate the pagan ritual of Saturnalia, which is a pagan holiday, pagan ritual that was celebrated at the end of December, and incorporate that into the Christian religion. That's how you now get a celebration at the end of December. Happens to be on December 25th. Okay. Also, in your Bible, in Jeremiah chapter 10, verses 3 through 5, your God actually says in the King James Version of the Bible, your God actually says, if you go into the wood and take a Christmas tree, okay, a tree, you put silver and gold on it, tie so it can't move, is acts of vain people. That's vanity. Does your God love vanity? Does your God respect vanity? Does God allow vain people into heaven? Does your God do that? You know the answer. I don't have to answer it for you. Now, also, part of this ritual of Christmas is dogmatically taught that the resurrection, okay, well, there was no 3 days and 3 nights. And at another time, because we've been here doing this a while now, at another time I'll go into Jesus himself in your Bible says he had not resurrected. He didn't even die. He wasn't even in the sepulcher. He himself says it. I know you don't believe that either, okay? But you don't have to believe it. I don't want people to have belief and faith. I want people to have factual information that is supported by provable evidence.
Yeah.
But we'll do that at another time. Okay? So, what we've already gone through is Jesus was on this, had to be taken off the cross before the Sabbath day. Sabbath day is Friday night sundown to Saturday night sundown. He must have been taken off Saturday, sometime before Friday night. I gave Friday morning. And Mary of Magdalene came to the sepulchre early the first day of the week when it was yet dark. I'm going to still give that Sunday morning, when we know back then there was no clocks and alarm clocks and all of this. Okay, the way they knew day or morning was first light. The way they knew night or evening was last light. Okay, everybody knew that. Okay, but I'm giving it. It was Sunday morning, even though it says yet dark. Yet dark. First, Mary of Magdalene, John chapter 20, verse 1. The first day of the week cometh Mary Magdalene early. First day of the week, we already know is Sunday, when it was yet dark. Yeah. Sun hadn't even shined yet. Not the actual sun, not even solar rays were even shining yet, because it was dark still. And the tomb was empty. That's 2 days, 2 nights. Technically, it was actually 1 day and 1 night, but I'm giving it 2 days and 2 nights. So the reason that they say that it's a holy day because of the resurrection of Jesus Christ is a lie. It's a lie. Proven with your own Bible. Proven in the Bible, it's a lie. The words of God prove it's a lie. The words of your God prove it's a lie. A straight lie. The Christmas tree is a pagan ritual. The resurrection, the reason for the giving you in the contemporary era for celebrating this ritual is a lie. Is a lie right from the Bible. I read it for you, right in the Bible, and I gave you chapters and verses where so you can check it yourself. Don't believe me. Check it yourself.
Yeah.
I also gave you where the ritual of putting presents underneath the tree. How come it's an evergreen tree? Nimrod, Semiramis, Semiramis, Nimrod's mother, who also was his wife, said after Nimrod died that he came back in the form of his spirit was in an evergreen tree that grew from a dead tree stump, and that also that his spirit would come to the tree stump, to the evergreen tree, and put presents under the tree for the children.
Yep.
And that his spirit also came to her, as it would say in the Bible, the spirit of Nimrod came in unto Semiramis, and from that joining, she bore a son. From that immaculate conception, she bore a son. That son and her were worshipped in the same way and looked at in the same light as the contemporary era people look at the Madonna and Child. The Virgin Mary had an immaculate conception by a spirit or an angel that came in unto her, as the Bible states, those are the words the Bible uses, came in unto her, and she bore a child. Now in the Bible it says, and the angel said, or the spirit said, and you shall call his name Emmanuel. Why you're calling him Jesus? Because the angel said Emmanuel, but y'all are calling him Jesus.
Yeah.
The last and final thing. Now that's the Christmas thing, and y'all should already have this now, and it's enough to do the searching and researching. But I got one point to put on this. I want you to take the heat, since Jesus was a Jew, right? According to what y'all believe and what you all, according to your faith and your belief, the person you consider to be Jesus was of the Jewish faith. I want you to open up your dictionary go to the part in the dictionary that has the alphabets. It's going to have Hebrew, Greek, Latin, Arabic, and American English. Using the Hebrew alphabet that you will see right in your dictionary, I want you to spell the name Jesus. Using the letters there, I want you to spell the name Jesus. You won't be able to do it. I want you also to spell the word Jehovah using the Hebrew letters. You won't be able to do it. Here's why. There are certain letters not in the Hebrew language. Let me rephrase this. The Hebrew language, the Hebrew alphabet, are missing certain letters that are required to spell the name Jesus and required to spell the name Jehovah. So then, if that's the fact, and they will speak in Hebrew, according to your belief system and your faith system, that they were speaking Hebrew, Jesus, according to your faith and your belief, and the people, his family, and such and so forth, were speaking Hebrew according to your belief and faith. And in the Hebrew alphabet, certain letters are not present that are necessary to spell Jehovah and to spell Jesus. Back in the day where Jesus supposedly lived, they couldn't have said Jesus. They couldn't have even said Jehovah. So the question should come and arise automatically, common sense, something your God gave you. Do not throw away the abilities your God gave you. Back then, in that era, were they calling him Jesus? No. The answer is obviously no, because there would not be any letters to pronounce the name. Were they calling this God Jehovah?
No.
Impossible for them to do that, because there would be no letters to pronounce the word Jehovah. So then that would lead to this obvious question. Who and where did the name Jehovah even come into play? Who created this? It had to be a human being. It couldn't have been the creator of all creation. It couldn't have been this God you believe in, because it was no way that these people could have said Jesus nor Jehovah. It'd be impossible, linguistically impossible, because to say any words, like in American English, to say all the words I've said, and to say all the words you say, and to say all the words anyone else says in the American language, you have to have the letters to be able to pronounce and enunciate these words, just like in any language that there is in the world.
Yeah.
But there's letters not present in the Hebrew language to be able to say Jesus, to be able to say Jehovah. Yeah, something to think about.
Right.
There's a lot of bamboozling been going on. There's a lot of technology been going on. There's a lot of deception and lies been going on and still going on. I challenge you, bring these points to your pastors. I challenge you, bring these points to your preachers and your imams and your rabbis and your other religious leaders. I challenge you, bring these questions to your friends and families. I challenge you to do these things. Guess what? You're not going to do it. I already stated in the beginning, you're not going to do any of it. And you know why? Because you're afraid to. You're afraid to find out the facts. You would rather stay in your comfortable state rather than find out the facts. Well, according to the God you believe in, you're not following even what your God says.
Yeah.
You're not even following what God says, but you lie to yourself. You'll be self-delusional and say to yourself, yes, I am. Why? How will you do that? Because the others around you have the same delusion, the same delusion, the same self-lying. And you don't want to be the one to say, hey, we've been tricked, we're lying. Well, I mean, we've been tricked, we've been lied to, we've been fooled. Mm-hmm. You don't want to be that one. So check this out. According to your book, you're not going to be in the gates of heaven. You can lie and deceive yourself as much as you want. But according to what your book says, those are people who are not going to heaven. The hypocrites, the backbiters, the liars, the deceivers. Even if you deceive yourself, even if you lie to yourself, and then you participate in passing on a lie and deception to others, is that not what a devil does?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it exactly is. Again, I'll end with this. Do not believe anything I have said. I do not want you to believe one word, not one letter, not one comma, nothing. Believe nothing, nothing whatsoever. I want you to go and check it for yourself. Search and research yourself. Don't go and ask someone. Then you're getting their opinion, their theory, their conjecture, their opinion. You can do the searching and the researching yourself. You got a cell phone.
Right. People
walk down the street. They're watching the Kardashians and whatever on the cell phones or whatever they're watching. But are they doing any searching and researching?
No.
How about you be the ones that? Isn't your soul worth that? Isn't your soul worth that? Isn't your soul worth going to your pastors and your preachers and saying, hey, I read in John 20 and show them? And they already know it's there. They know it's there. They'll stand there like, oh, I didn't see that. Or what they'll do is they'll twist it around and say, well, what that really means is this. Well, then open up a dictionary. Open a dictionary. Don't take their definition of. I'll give you an example, people. If it says in a passage, let's just give an example. And mine eyes saw the glory of the Holy Ghost. People will reinterpret that to conform to their own faith and belief system to being. And mine eyes saw the Spirit of let me start this again. This says in a verse in the Bible, and mine eyes saw the Holy Ghost arise out of or descend from heaven. There are those who will transform that statement into their own belief and faith system into this phrase. I saw with mine eyes the Spirit of the Lord descend from heaven. Or I saw with mine eyes the Spirit descend from heaven. Mm-hmm. If the word is Holy Ghost, it is not Holy Spirit. If you open a dictionary and see the definition of the word ghost and the word spirit, you will see they have different definitions. Their definitions are similar, yes, but there is a difference between a ghost and a spirit. If there wasn't, there wouldn't be two different words. So I'm just giving you an idea, people, or a way to understand how your pastors and your imams and other people will twist things that are right there on the page to conform to the lies and deceptions that they have been giving over to you. They have been relaying to you. That's why I say you must have a dictionary present so that there's a reason why words are written so we can read them. And if we don't know what a word means, what are we supposed to do, people? I know 90% of you will ask somebody, what are you talking about? No, you're supposed to open a dictionary. And there is a definition. If you ask 5 people the definition of right, of the word right. Now, let's just say like this. You ask two people the definition of what you say to two people, what does the word right mean? One person might say, well, that means, you're right. The other person will say, that's left. I mean, the opposite of left. Well, which one is correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get it?
Yeah.
Some people use the word right is the opposite of left. Okay?
Uh-huh.
The word right is not the word correct. You must understand that.
Yeah.
So if you ask someone, what does the word right mean? If you speak to one person and they say, well, it means you're right. You're right. You're not wrong. What they have done is given you their definition, what they believe and conjecture it is, or have been conditioned to believe it is. Believe it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you don't ask people, what does this word mean? What does that mean? What is this? You do your own searching and researching. That's what they have all these books for. That's why they have these computers that you have in your hand. How about this, people? And I'm not knocking anything because the brother knows me. How about people do this? Get your faces out of Facebook and put your faces in an actual book.
Mm-hmm.
How about do that? If you put your faces in an actual book, as much as you put your faces in Facebook, a lot more factual information that is supported by provable evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right.
So, don't believe me. Check it out for yourself. And one more thing, and this is off topic, but I got to put it out there in the air. There's a lady and her law firm. Her name is Victoria Boucher.
Yeah.
I think that's the last name.
Yep.
She is Doc's lawyer. From the time she has been his lawyer, she's accomplished nothing. Absolutely nothing that she said she would accomplish. Nothing. Zero. Nada. Zilch. And remember, I've already said this. Don't believe me. Check it for yourself.
Yep.
That don't mean go ask somebody, because they're going to give you their opinion. Do the searching and the researching. You got a computer in your hand. Do it. She's done nothing except this one thing. Become rich off of the donations of Nuwapians. NEWuapians.
Uh-huh.
Not NEWuapians.
Yep.
Fake Nuwapians. Okay? The fake ones. She's gotten millions of dollars via donations. Keep saying, well, I'm going to get him moved. I'm going to get this done for him. I'm going to get that done for him. She hasn't gotten accomplished. Not one thing has she got accomplished for Doc.
Mm-hmm.
She got a lot accomplished for herself.
Yeah.
But she's got nothing accomplished for Doc. So I'm saying this for all who are in the ear range of my words. Do not donate another penny to her law firm. No matter what anyone says, you want results. She has given no results. If you had, I'm going to put it like this.
Uh-huh.
Let's say you had a family member or someone that you dearly care about who was incarcerated, and you hired a lawyer to have them freed, or at the very minimum have them moved to a lesser prison, instead of Supermax, like a medium, or you wanted her, you hired the lawyer for a purpose.
Yeah.
And years go by. I'm talking years. And nothing that you hired this lawyer to do have they accomplished. Nothing, not a zilch. Would you keep that person as your counsel?
Nope.
As your lawyer?
Nope.
To Doc's son, and to all these Nuwapians who, whenever you ask them, well, what's going on? They say, well, can't talk about it. It's in the works. Things are in the works. Yeah, things in the works, huh? Okay. Well, here's the situation. Anybody with half a brain and actually cared would obviously get a different lawyer, a different law firm. In the legal ease, in the legal world, if a lawyer has not accomplished what you have hired them to do, the phrase is called ineffective assistance of counsel. I'll say it again. Ineffective assistance of counsel. I'll say it again. Ineffective assistance of counsel. Ineffective assistance of counsel. That means your counsel, because in the courtroom, a lawyer is actually called counsel, your counsel, because it's your legal counsel. It's a legal person. A lawyer is someone who gives you legal counsel. So, if your lawyer has been ineffective, the counseling your lawyer has been giving is ineffective to accomplish what you have hired them for. It is called ineffective assistance of counsel. If you go into a courtroom and state at any time that you have been given ineffective assistance of counsel, the moment you end that sentence, that phrase, the court proceedings stop. They have to stop. Legally, they have to stop. Don't believe me. Check it for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Get on your computer, get on your cell phone, and put in ineffective assistance of counsel and see what it is. I am saying everyone within earshot, I want you to write, text, every form of communication to every Nuwapian community center, bookstore, everywhere, and tell them that you want ineffective assistance of counsel for Victoria. That is the lawyer. That is Doc's lawyer. She's been the lawyer from the beginning.
Yeah.
And accomplished nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That is what I want everyone to do. Okay? Everyone. Ineffective assistance of counsel. That is what you want Prince York and all these people to do. And Prince York, I'm telling you myself, I know you're phony. Now, I'm speaking strictly for me. I am not speaking for Zakim or anyone. I'm speaking for me. You are phony. You do not want your father free, because if you are as intelligent as you present yourself to be, you would know about ineffective assistance of counsel, and you would know that Victoria has accomplished nothing.
Right.
There's more than enough evidence to prove that.
Yeah.
There's factual information supported by provable evidence that she is useless and using people to get money. She has a cash cow in Doc.
Right.
Okay? And you know it. And personally, I believe you're in cahoots with her.
Probably.
Yeah.
My
name is TAALIB. If you want to get in contact with me, Prince, York, whatever you want to call yourself, you want to get in contact with me, send it through Zakim's Facebook page.
He got my Instagram.
And I'll get in contact. Or you get in contact through, if you hear this, that means you're hearing what I'm saying.
Right.
You get in contact with Zakim. You can contact me through Zakim's Facebook page.
He got my Instagram.
Guaranteed. Huh?
He got my Instagram.
Okay, there you go. So send me a shout out. Guess what? You're not gonna send no shout out. And here's why. Beyond all the words you're gonna give and all those excuses and all of that jazz, you know that you don't want your dad out. You know you're in cahoots with Victoria. Yeah. Why? Because you are a Nuwapian. You're fake. You used to be a Nuwapian, a real Nuwapian, when your dad was free. Now he's got locked up. Now you got all these ways to make millions of dollars off of him. You got a cash cow too. So, my name is TAALIB. TAALIB. I'll spell it in a different way. Tango, Alpha, Alpha, Lima, Indigo, Bravo. Tango, Alpha, Alpha, Lima, Indigo, Bravo. Yeah. Holla at me, as you say. Holla at me. So, all right, Zakim.
Right. I just
So,
got.
to everyone else, peace and blessings.
Hey,
Y'all have a great one.
TAALIB.
Don't believe it. Yo.
I got. There's one more
Yeah.
thing. So somebody just asked one question if you got the time.
Anybody can ask any question. I got all the time I want.
He asked my brother Anwar. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. Good friend of mine. He asked, what about cryptocurrency? I don't know what made him think of it. Something you said earlier made him think of it. He asked it a while ago, but I'm just, I waited till you finished to ask you the question. He said, what about cryptocurrency?
Okay, you know me, brother, so I just got to say it like I say it. I've heard of cryptocurrency.
Right.
I have never done any searching nor researching on the subject.
Right.
So I cannot give a response to that.
Okay.
No, that is the only response I can give to that. I've heard of it. I've never done any research. I've never researching.
Right.
My personal opinion and my personal theory is this. Everything is controlled by the controllers of finances. Everything. I don't care if the word currency is on it, it's being controlled by the people that we don't know.
Uh-huh.
It's being controlled by the same people that control the finance. That I'll put it like this: as there was a time when everything was done by barter. Okay, everything was on the barter system, meaning there was no currency necessary. Okay,
right.
I have A, you need A. Can I get B from you? You don't. I mean, it's a barter system. Okay. So then somebody brought in currency. And I already know, the research already proved who brought in the currency. I'm not going to go into that.
Uh-huh.
But my point is, at the time currency was brought in, nobody knew what it was. What the fuck is currency? What's currency? What is that? What is that? It's the same thing with cryptocurrency. Okay? There was a time when people were saying, when we had just paper money and coinage. Okay? And they introduced credit cards and debit cards. In the very beginning, people were saying, what's a debit card? What's a credit card? I don't want no debit card. I don't want no credit card. Credit, man, I'm going to deal with cash. But through the media and the brainwashing that the controllers know how to do so well, they brought in this the credit card. So in my opinion, my conjecture is that, my theory is that it's the same thing with cryptocurrency. Someone's controlling the currency, whether it's crypto or dipto or ifto or la la. I don't care what the name is. There's a controller of it.
Uh-huh.
Okay, it's a way to do commerce, and we're not in control of it. Okay, so I don't care what label is on it and what methods of brainwashing that they are using, or brain manipulation they're using to get people to use that form of currency. I don't care. Okay? There's always going to be, there always has to be a method of commerce. Okay? So, if that becomes the new currency, so be it. It's still going to be controlled by the controllers of currency. Uh-huh. And the controllers of currency have never been the common man or woman. Never. We've always been the ones who have manipulated to how can I put this, to attain currency, whether it be crypto or whatever gold. Okay?
Yeah.
So the controllers are still the controllers. My personal preference is forget currency. How about we all start going back to the barter system? How about we do that? I bet you, there are, right now, I bet you there's about at least 1,000 people listening. They may not all weigh in and such and so forth, but this is Facebook. Okay? So I'm imagining at least 1,000 people are listening to this.
Or at least going to hear it.
Right. So at least, let's say 1,000 people. Let's say half of those people. Okay? Let's say half of those people told one person each about something called the barter system. And then, and tell everybody, I'm willing to do this. Okay? And that there's a conglomerate that we should start where we're going to barter with each other and not deal with currency unless we have no choice. We'll start making our own thing go on here. Okay? I'm telling you, man, the barter system is the way to go. Okay? Barter system, put it like this. Okay, Zakim knows this. I happen to be one of the things I happen to be is a certified chef. Okay, I have some other skills that I'm not going to talk about on this. But I'm a certified, oh man, my battery. I'm a certified chef. Okay?
Okay.
I would, hold on. I would have absolutely no problem with using my chef skills for exchange of something that somebody else has that I need to acquire. Okay? Another thing I have that I can speak on this is construction skills. I can build a house from the ground up.
Yeah.
Okay? So, except for electrical and plumbing. So, I can exchange those skills. Like, for instance, let's say I knew somebody, I'm going to give you an example. Let's say I knew somebody who, I don't know, for lack of a better, for right now, let's just use this as an example. It's a weak example, but it's the only example I can think of right now. Let's say I knew somebody who made clothes. Okay? And that person had a leak in their roof. Okay, how about we do this? We'll write a contract out where I'll fix the leak in the roof and you make this suit for me, or you make this sweater for me, or you make these sets of pants for me. Shit, stuff like that, okay? Yeah. That's what bartering is, when no currency is needed. That was what we were doing before. Yeah. Why can't we get back to it? Because everybody's thinking about currency. Because people have been brain dirtied. I call it brain dirty because when you wash something, you clean it. You wash a window, you get the dirt off of it. You wash your clothes, you get the dirt off of it. Okay?
Yeah.
But we've been conditioned to call it brainwashing. No. It's brain dirtying. Okay?
Right.
When you're brain dirtied, you know what I mean? People call it brainwashed. No, I'm not. I'm brainwashed. My brain is cleaning out the dirt. Right? Okay? Yep. I'm cleaning out the dirt in my brain. That is brainwashing. I'm washing my brain out. Follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's my point of view on any type of currency. I don't care what the currency is. I mean, you can call it anything you want. I'm not controlling the currency. You're not. The common man and woman is not in control of the currency. We only do things to acquire the currency that someone else controls.
Right.
Okay. I want to be living like that, but I have no choice because most people are not aware of the barter system, and most people are not willing to start a conglomerate of dealing with the barter system. That doesn't mean like, okay, let's say in the conglomerate, you have, we'll call it a conglomerate right now, barter system conglomerate, okay? So in the barter system conglomerate, let's say in the barter system conglomerate, there's only 1,000 people, but there's over 7 million people in America alone. No, let's say this is only at least 7 million people in fucking America, okay? But excuse the language. So let's say in a barter corporation or conglomerate, there's only 1,000 people. Okay, then that means we have to use currency for other things. We do not have to use currency for things that are available in the conglomerate. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right, okay. If let's say in the conglomerate there's only like, well, I make jewelry, I do this and that, whatever the case may be. Well, I don't wear jewelry, okay? But Jane Doe wear jewelry. Okay? So John Doe and Jane Doe might want something else from me. I don't know how to easily explain this. In the conglomerate, if there's only a certain amount of products in the conglomerate that can be bartered, okay? Exchange for free. For free, no currency, okay? Then that's what we have to work with in the conglomerate, okay? Until the conglomerate grows. So let's say I need to get on the bus and the person is not part of the conglomerate. Okay, I'm going to have to pay for the bus. Currency, no problem. No problem at all. But let's say somebody's in the conglomerate and they drive a taxi. And I want to go from point A to point B. But let's say the person in the taxi doesn't want the product that I have. Then I can look on the database of the conglomerate for someone that has a product that the cab driver wants. That at the same time, that person that has something the cab driver wants, that person needs a skill that I have. Like they're having a birthday party, they need somebody to cook for the birthday party or something like that. Or they got a leak in the roof and they want somebody to fix the leak in the roof. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it works like that. That's what a barter system is. Everybody works together.
Right.
Okay? Everybody works together. That way we don't need currency dealing with the conglomerates. Not saying that we won't need currency for anything. Of course we'll need currency for some things, for most things, because the conglomerate starts small and gets larger. It's like the banking system. The banking system started without bank. There weren't any banks at one time. There were no banks. Zero banks.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they started small, and now they're global. And they have people fooled and tricked. I'm going to break this down real quick. Sorry. Here's what I mean. The banks got people fooled and tricked. Let's say somebody in the neighborhood that you live in, you got word that they hold people's money, like the banks say, for safekeeping.
Yeah.
Okay? So you go to the person, you say, okay, I have $100. Can you hold this for me? I heard you're trustworthy, and, everything is gravy. The person says, sure, I'll hold it for you. You give them the $100. They go about their day. You go about your day. 2 days, let's say it's Monday. Tuesday, you come back to them and say, yo, know that $100? I need it back today. And they say, oh, no, I can't give it back to you. I got to hold it for 7 days. Would that be all right with you? No, it wouldn't.
No.
But that's what the banks do.
Uh-huh.
That's what the banks do. And people agree to this stupidity.
Yep.
Another point. Let's say the same person, you say, here's $100. They say, cool, blah, 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 everything's wonderful. Okay. And they give them $100. Okay. Then you say to them, yeah, I need you to give me $100. I need you to give me 50 of it back. And they say, yeah, okay, but I got to charge you. What do you mean you got to charge me? I got to charge you $3 to get part of your money back. Would you accept that? Would you think that was cool, or would you think that was a rook? Would you think that was scam.
So what the hell wrong with you?
You would obviously think that's a scam. So why do people agree to do that for their bank?
Right.
Why do they agree to do that? You get a credit card, and you go to the ATM, it charges you a fee to use it, to get your money. You open a bank account today, you can't get your money out tomorrow. They're going to charge you a penalty if, come on, man, are you crazy?
Mm-hmm.
But people have been bamboozled into it, hoodwinked into it. Okay? And the grandparents did it, the parents did it, the children do it, the da-da-da do it, the da-da-da do it, the da-da-da do it. Come on, man, all you... Come on. I am a Nuwapian. I am a scientist, and I'm supposed to think this is sensible? Come on, not me. I'm not that guy. I am not the one for that. No Nuwapian is. Now, I'm talking about NEWuapian, not NEW-Wapian. NEW-Wapian are fake Nuwapians. Okay, I'm not talking about them. Okay, who think they're better than everybody who's not. You ain't got the knowledge I have, so then you're not good as I am. I'm better than you because I'm a Nuwapian. Man, please, that's the first sign that you're not a Nuwapian. You're a Nuwapian. You're fake. Because you're looking down on people. You think you're better than people.
Especially the ones in the lodge.
Man. Say again?
Especially the ones in the lodge.
Yeah, well, that's why Doc closed the lodge. Doc opened up lodges. Do you understand what a lodge... Look, people, I don't know if y'all understand something or not. I'm not going to go into this in detail, but to open a Masonic lodge is not just renting a building or buying a building and going about your life and saying I'm a Mason and all this. No. It's much more deeper than that. It's a lot more than that. So Doc goes and opens up lodges. He gets locked up. A couple of years after he's locked up, he closes the lodges. Wait a second. Question arises. Wait a second. Why did you close the lodges? There must be something going on inside the lodges so messed up that Doc closed them. Yeah. And these are the supposed Nuwapian leaders. Come on, man. The people in the mirrors talking about that. You can't ask that question. Are you out of your mind? Look, people, I'm just going to say this one thing, and this ain't revealing nothing that is not public knowledge. There's a saying amongst real Masons. Okay? Actually, it's amongst all Masons, but real ones, because I'll just say this in a second. First of all, it's this. We make good men better. That is one of the major Masonic statements. We make good men better.
Yeah.
Now look at the statement. We make good men better. That means you already had to be a good man to even become a Mason. That means you already had to have you've already worked on yourself. You already have high moral standard. You have honor. You have dignity. You already live this way. You're already a good person, a good man. But Masonry just is supposed to make you better. You're already good. You don't steal. I know this is going to sound strange to people. Okay? But living as a real, true, factual Mason, you don't steal. You don't lie. Yeah, people. You just don't. Okay? Now, look, we're living on Earth. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying if somebody said, look, man, I'm going to shoot your mom in the face, there's extenuating circumstances to everything. Okay? But you've worked on yourself. You already have made yourself a good man or woman. Okay? You've already done it. Okay? Already. It's done already. Done already. Joining a lodge just helps you to become a better person. That's it. A better man. Okay? And for the ladies who are listening out there, in the ancient way, the Nubian way, as people call it, the African way. African is a Greek word, and it doesn't mean, I'm not going to go into that. Women were Masons too. Only these Scottish Rite Masons, okay? And the people who are, the Black Lodges who have followed the Scottish Rite Masonry don't allow women to become Masons. You're telling me a woman can't be a good person? Mm-hmm. Is that what you're trying to say to me? Females cannot become good people? They can't work on themselves and become good people? And then once they've done that, they can't become better people? Of course they can. For you to tell a woman that she can't be, man, get out of here. You know a real Mason anyway then. Okay. Oh, please. So, there's a whole lot to it.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot to it. So anyway. But back to this. Let's start the barter system, people. I'm willing to start. I'm down. I'm definitely into it. No question about it. I'm with it 101%.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to make this very, 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 very clear. I don't tolerate fake people. I don't tolerate people who use people. I don't tolerate people who mistreat people and misuse people. I'm not into it. And I'm just putting that out there. If something like this is started, I'm 100% down. I'm into it, no question. But there will be certain rules, regulations, bylaws, and such and so forth. I'm not going to be, everybody involved who helps to start this will put their input on what these rules, regulations, bylaws, and such and so forth will be. And then they'll be stuck to. They will be adhered to. There will be no excuses why they are not adhered to. And anyone who does not adhere to all of them is instantaneously out. No question about it. No ifs, ands, or buts. Gone. Now, of course, the evidence has to prove guilt. Not somebody just saying, well, yeah, no. The paper trail and all of this will prove guilt. Factual information supported by provable evidence will prove guilt or innocence.
Yeah.
Okay, not opinion, not theories, not conjecture, not I don't like them, so I'm going to start some rumor. Well, then that means you're out. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is only going to be for good people, good men. When I say men, I mean human. Okay, well then let me say what I mean. For any human beings, any, I don't care who you are. You just got to be a good person. You got to be honorable. You can't come in with, you can't be, I will not participate in something that is going to be like the system we're trying to get away from.
Yeah.
Or like the people that are running the system that we're trying to get away from. It's illogical to do that. So why would I do that?
Mm-hmm.
And then if I found out that, well, the majority of the people are nonsense, then I can just walk. I can just get out of it.
Yeah.
Bye. Y'all all have a good day with it.
Right.
Because I want to do barter 100%. That's it. In barter, to barter, you have to be honest. You just have to be honest, because your word has to stand. Even though there's going to be contracts, we're in a modern world. The government looks at everything, lawyers look at everything, and so there has to be, all these things that go into things. But your honor has to be there. If your honor's not there, don't even come into the door, because anyway, honor has to be there.
Yeah.
Which is the bottom line. So that would be my answer to her. Okay. That would be my answer to her. Oh, and people, this is the other thing about this Masonic thing. If someone like this, Brother Zakim will let you know this exactly happened. Okay? A person who was in a lodge. And I'm not sure if he was the worshipful master or not, leader of the lodge or not. I'm not sure. Was he, Zakim?
No. This person wasn't.
Wait, don't say the name. Don't say the name.
No.
But he was not?
No.
Okay. Any real Mason knows what the statement I'm about to say. You do not ask. No Mason can ask you to become a Mason. Says to you, hey man, you should join my lodge. Instantly, you should never go to that lodge. Instantly, you should never become a Mason in that lodge. And you should also know that lodge that person is in is not a true Masonic lodge. And there's thousands of fake lodges. They got the emblems and everything like that, and you pay your dues, and they got the apron, and they got everything. Mm-hmm. Okay? But they're not real Masons. They just look. It's like a Nuwapian and a Nuwapian.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. You got them going. You got them out there. You have them about thousands out there. One person asked my brother, Zakim, who is a Mason. He had his ring, everything. He had his ring on and everything. And asked him, said to Zakim, first, for months, Zakim, not every day, but whenever it came up in conversation, Zakim would say, yeah, well, brother asked me to join the lodge. And I kept telling him, you don't do that. Nobody does that. You can't do that. You can't do that. Okay, it's impossible. Look, there's even there's even something that goes on inside that you're actually asked, where you asked, where you coerced, where you to do this, and your answer and you're supposed to be honest, and your answer is supposed to be no. Okay, no. Yeah. So this individual, I ran across him one day with Zakim, and right in front of me, and I have my ring on. Anybody who knows me, I wear my ring every day. I step out, I'm wearing my ring. Okay, if it's summertime, 99% of the time you're going to see my ring and my hat. Mm-hmm. You'll know I am a traveler, and I live a certain life. Okay, and I don't care if you hate me all day and night for it. But, so anyway, this brother asked Zakim, while standing right in front of me, he said, hey, Zakim, so when are you going to join the lodge? I turned to the brother and said, wait, did you just ask him to join the lodge? And he said, yeah. And so I'm not going to go into the details of the conversation, but I started grilling him, okay? He obviously didn't know, I didn't have my hat on that day, but I had my ring on. And he must not have saw my ring. But then I gave him I shook his hand, and I said certain things to him, and then once I let him know that I am a Mason, then I started grilling him. Why'd you ask him to join the lodge? You know that's not allowed. You can't ask somebody to become a Mason. The individual said, yes, I can. I'm allowed to do that. And so I asked him in a Masonic language, but what about certain things that you're asked in the lodge about, becoming, about why you became a Mason, why you want to be? He said, yeah, that's right. I was like, so how the hell could you ask him when he would have to say, I'm not going to say the words, the Masonic terminology, but in essence, I said to this brother, to this person, being that he's going to be asked when he joins, he's going to be asked certain questions. And one of the questions is, did anybody ask you to join? And his answer has to be no. But you just asked him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he tried to escape the question. He tried to evade it. And Brother Zakim knows me pretty well. And another side of me was about to show. Okay? But Zakim was like, look, man, let's just walk on down the street. Let's go on home and such and so forth. That's what I did. Okay? Because I live by a different rule. I live by an old code, an original code of what people call African or Egyptian masonry. I don't live by these codes of this modern masonry. I was raised in a whole different light.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was raised by a different school. And the school I was raised by, we follow all the ancient code. And I will never not follow the ancient code. You might as well just do whatever you feel you need to do. Because I'm not going to deviate from the ancient code. I'm a human being. I am in no way perfect. I make errors all the time. I'm not claiming to be anything perfect. But I strive to be a better man every day of my life. I'm already a good man. I have no doubt about that.
Yes.
But I strive to be a better man every day of my life. And when I am no longer in this form, I will continue to strive to be a better being.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. No question about it. It's just the way it's going to be. It's the way it is. So, it is what it is.
Right.
Yeah. All right?
That's right. And
okay, brother.
I enjoyed you, man.
All right, people.
Excellent, man. I enjoyed that.
No problem, brother. And I have to end it like Doc does, like Doc did. Listen, people. Do not believe me. Do not believe anything I say, I have said. I want you to check it for yourself. I want you to do your own searching and researching yourself. The reason I want you to do that is this. When you do your own searching and researching, you cannot be doing researching unless you have first searched. Research, return, rewind. You cannot, so I want you to do your own searching and researching for this reason. This is one of the reasons. When you're doing your own searching and researching, you're becoming your own teacher. Okay? You're becoming your own teacher. And once you become your own teacher, you can also learn in that process, you also learn how to teach or instruct others. Okay? You learn that all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the same time, by doing your own searching and researching, you learn to rely on yourself to find information. Now, look, I learned massive amounts of information. I can't even, there's no number that I can even put on it from Doc. I'm sitting in them classes and learning directly from Doc. No question about it. Oh, yes. But Doc also instructed us and insisted that we do our own studying, our own searching and researching. He kept saying, don't believe me, check it out. Don't believe me, check it out. Don't believe me, check it out. Don't believe me, check it out.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the other thing. So he asked me, and I'm pretty sure he already knew what my answer was going to be, but he asked me the other day if I would do, like Doc did, a Q&A, a question and answer session. I have no problem with doing that. None whatsoever. And I'm willing to do it every Sunday at between 10. We can start like at 10 o'clock or, 10 or 10:30, somewhere in there, and I can do that every Sunday. But listen, people, I'm going to do it like Doc did it. I'm going to do it, if Kim has the time and such, I want to do it at the same time, on the same day, every week.
Mm-hmm.
Doc did it 1 o'clock in the afternoon every Sunday. 1 o'clock in the afternoon every Sunday.
Wow.
1 o'clock in the afternoon every Sunday. For years and 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 years, he never changed it. It was 1 o'clock every Sunday. And so, I don't know when Zakim has the time to start it, but hear this carefully. I want you all to have, and I want to make this clear. There is no question that you're not allowed to ask. There is no question that you are not allowed to ask. There is a stupid question. The stupid question is the one you don't ask. That is the stupid question. Get it, people? The only question that is stupid is the question you do not ask. Now, I have to make this also clear. I'm not Doc. I am not as learnt as Doc. So I say this to people all the time. Well, not all the time anymore, because I try to stay away from people nowadays. But here's the statement I want y'all to understand about me personally. I know a little about a lot, and a lot about a little. I'm going to say that again. I know a lot about a little, and a little about a lot. You people out there, I guarantee this, every single one of you have knowledge about something that I want to know about, that I don't have. I guarantee it. I don't have one bit of doubt about it. You can have doubt about that, but I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I know positively, guaranteed, no doubt, that everyone that's listening to my voice, every one of you, have knowledge about something I want to know about that I don't know. Understand? You know something about subjects that I don't know about, that I do want to know. Okay? So I don't want y'all to think, oh, man, this guy's got a lot of information. He knows everything. No, I don't know everything. Okay? Don't get it confused. Don't get it twisted. I'm another human being walking on this planet. I put my pants on one leg at a time. I sit down when I shit. Okay? Excuse me. I sit down when I defecate. Okay? So don't get it twisted. Okay? It's just that I know a lot about a little, and a little about a lot. Okay? Cool. But don't believe me. Check it out. Do your own searching, your own researching. Don't ask. If someone tells you, that's a dumb question, just never ask them anything again in life. They don't deserve you to be in your space. They don't even deserve for you to waste your oxygen on. Okay? I'm just emphasizing this because it happened in a mirror. In one of the classes, I actually went, wait, I want to make clear, it wasn't Doc's class. No. It would never happen in Doc's class.
Uh-huh.
Never. It happened in a, we call them mirrors. Okay? It happened in a mirror that I was in a few years back. This was after Doc had got locked up. Okay? So no, it would never, nothing like that would. If Doc heard somebody ask a question, and anybody, I mean anyone, especially a Nuwapian, had the nerve to even say, that's a dumb question.
Mm-hmm.
You have no idea. Doc wouldn't have got physical, but you have no idea how Doc would have tore them apart.
Yeah.
Doc would have just tore them apart. Tore that person apart. He would have made that person want to probably kill themselves for even saying anything like that. Okay? And all that, no, that's that Nuwapian stuff.
NEW.
Okay? That's not Nuwapian. That is not Nuwapian. Nuwapians know. How did we learn? How did Nuwapians, who we are now, was I born this way? No. I was a hood person, straight hood. Okay, anyway, nobody's born knowing all of this stuff that I know of. Okay, nobody knows this instantly when we're born.
Uh-huh.
Knowledge grows over life. Okay, so anybody who you ask somebody a question, they say you're stupid, man. Well, shut that. You don't need. Oh yeah, really? Don't get mad at them. Have pity for them. Don't even waste breath on them anymore. But have pity on them, because a person who says that's a stupid question, guess what they're really saying? I don't know the answer.
Yeah.
That's what they're really saying. They're saying, I don't know the answer. Oh, it's a stupid question? See, me nowadays, because who I am, and I have a lot of information in my head. I know a little about a lot and a lot about a little. If somebody said to me, well, that's a stupid question, this would be my answer to them. Answer it anyway.
Yeah.
And watch them squiggle and worm and all of this other jazz. And then and then I would watch them inventing it, because I would press their brain into the corner and force them to give an answer. And then knowing their answer would be false, because nobody with knowledge, no scientist says that to anyone. I would know that when the answer comes out, I'm going to destroy that answer. I'm going to just show how the answer does not match provable evidence. And then I'm going to show them how, then when they ask me a question, then I'm just going to answer their question. And then when I'm done, I'm going to say, see, that's how you're supposed to do it.
Uh-huh.
I said, your question is stupid. I could have treated you like you treated me. But instead I answered your question. Why would I do it that way? Because I'm still a scientist. I'm still a Nuwapian. I don't have a choice. You ask a question, I have the answer. I'm going to answer you. I just don't have a choice in the matter. There's no option. There is no option. None. I just have to. I'm a good man, and I'm striving to be better every day. That's,
Yeah.
Doc opened up lodges, man. Come on now. Then he closed them. Think about it. Think about it. Anyway, man, gotta go.
Okay.
God, Jesus. Morning.
Right.
Okay. All right, people. Please don't forget this. Hopefully we could do this next Sunday, same time, 10:30. But it will be a Q&A, a question and answer.
Yeah. I got this.
And don't believe me. Check it for yourself. Do your own searching and researching, and send letters, texts, emails, telepathy, every form of communication you can to every Nuwapian bookstore, website, everywhere you can think Nuwapian. That Victoria needs to be thrown off of Doc's case. Ineffective assistance of counsel.
Uh-huh.
And then, man, I'll tell you what also I'm going to do. By the time, by Sunday, by next Sunday, I'll have Victoria's business address. Well, I can't guarantee that because she might have taken it off the web. But you got to understand, when she was on the web and putting her things on YouTube and things,
Yeah.
I was destroying her. So she started putting videotapes up, and comments have been blocked for this video.
Yeah.
Because she couldn't handle what I was doing to her, and she just couldn't handle it. And so she had her business address on some of those videos, but she might have taken it down. I haven't looked at it in a while, but I'm going to find out. If I can find out her business address, I want y'all to write her. Look, I'm not saying curse her out or threaten her or anything of that nature. Honestly, I do not want anyone to do that. That's not what Nuwapians do. That's not what scientists do. Okay? Just express your opinion on the fakeness of her. Okay? I don't want her to live it down. I don't want her to get away from that. We know she's fake.
Mm-hmm.
But I also don't want you to stop. I also want you to let all these Nuwapians know that we all know she's fake, and that we know that these Nuwapians are down with the BS. Okay?
Yeah. Yep.
Last thing. When I say this is going out to the Nuwapians. This is going out to the Nuwapians. I'm not talking about the people who have, in the last few years, heard about the knowledge of Doc and joined and became Nuwapian, okay? Well, you already Nuwapian, but you know what I mean. Started going to the mirror in classes and things. I'm not talking about y'all, okay? Because you never met Doc. You never were in his classes. But you can go on YouTube and pull up True Light tapes. Go on YouTube, pull up True Light tapes. The True Light tapes. True Light tapes. TRUE. Tango, Romeo, Underdog, Echo. Light tapes. True Light tapes. That's Doc in the beginning. When I was sitting in classes, okay? And then go on YouTube and pull up Doc's tapes, his videos of, modern day. Pull them up and watch Doc and how Doc worked, how Doc did his classes. And then you'll know real Nuwapian.
Yep.
Okay, you'll know what it's about. You'll really, really know that.
Yeah.
Then when you run across these, then I want anybody to point out anywhere, at any time, anywhere where Doc said to somebody, "That's a dumb question. Don't answer that. I ain't going to answer that." I want you to point out one time. I'll give you $10,000. I'll work for the rest of the year, and I'll give you half my paycheck for every paycheck I get. Know why I'm saying that? Because you're not going to find one. That's why. When Doc said, "Nah, man, I ain't answering no question. I'm not answering that. That's a dumb question. No. You ask one question. Doc take about 5 days to answer that question in detail. I'm talking about more detail than you can understand. Anyway, so write, text, whatever, every Nuwapian place, bookstore, website, everything, letting them know Victoria's got to go. Let them know Victoria's got to go. Okay? Gotta go. That's it. She gotta go. She's got to go. And don't believe me. Check it out for yourself. Do your own searching and researching. And lastly, nothing I've said is to personally hurt anyone's feelings. Okay? Or I skipped over. I'm not talking about the Nuwapians who have just, in the last, 5-10 years, let's say, run across this information and started going to the classes and things like that, because you have been misled, bamboozled, hoodwinked by the people who are standing in those classes and claiming to be leaders. Okay? Now, I'm not saying all of them are fake, because I don't know all of them, so how could I make a statement like that? Okay? But if someone is telling you if any of them, you ask them a question, they make a statement, and they do not provide proof that there's proof of statement, meaning they're proof that what they have said is a fact. And proof that someone said something true is not them just saying, well, yeah, I said it. What do you mean? Come on, man. I'm a Nuwapian. I'm the leaner. No, man. You got to prove it. You got to actually prove it. Tell me someplace. I'll tell you what. I'm going to do some research on this. That's what I'm going to do. Okay? Well, why you got to search and research it? I told you, man. I know what I'm talking about. That's the first sign you don't.
Yeah. That's
the first sign. No, not necessarily you don't. But that's the first sign you're not a Nuwapian. It's the first sign that you are a Nuwapian. Because everybody's, you're supposed to tell anybody, do your own searching and researching. Do not believe me. For instance, everything I've said tonight is a 100% provable fact. But I don't want you, I honestly do not want you to believe me. I want you to do your own searching and researching so you can become your own instructor. So while you're doing your searching and researching, yeah, you're going to find out what I said is true. Okay, big deal. But you might find out something I don't know or somebody else doesn't know. Then you can pass on some new information or some different information. Follow? Yeah, how about that? How about that? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing. Damn, I said, you know me, Zakim, I'll do this all night, be late in the morning. And gotta go, man.
All right.
Everybody, you all have a great life, a great day. Hopefully, y'all will all be tuned in Sunday coming and have your questions ready. Please have your questions ready.
I got it.
And send the video on about Zakim, 10 o'clock, 10:30, right?
Yeah, I can't promise. I can't promise this Sunday. In fact, but I have to definitely get better equipment so that I can have my phone free, because I'm live streaming off my phone.
About the equipment. I'm talking about the time and the day.
Oh yeah. But
you said you're not sure?
I'm not. I can't promise this next Sunday.
Okay. Whenever we can.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm talking to the people. Whenever we can, whenever we have time, of course, Zakim will give an announcement, before it happens. But I want you all to get your questions ready. Okay? Write them down, or even if you want to, send your questions to Zakim even before we do this. Okay? And I will respond. Okay? Just send them to Zakim, and when we do this, I'll be answering the questions. Okay? I will be answering the questions. I give you all my word. I will be answering the questions. Okay? I will do my 100% best to answer all of your questions. And I will give you factual information that is supported by provable evidence. All right. Towel hat, bro.
All right. What I do? Well, folks. Wait a minute. What is going on here? There you have it. That is Brother TAALIB. He is 100% Nuwapian, and so am I. Hope you enjoyed this edition of Key Life Productions, and like we said, we're going to try to get this thing going every Sunday, and I'm never going to promise that I'm going to do something every time. I just don't do that because things come up, and then I have to break that promise. But whenever we can, we're going to do this, and I'm still looking to have certain guests on here, and one of them down the line is going to be none other than Chuck Morgan. I'm going to contact him and ask him, do he want to come up in here? But I haven't really heard much from him, so it may defeat the purpose anyway. But until next time, this is Brother Zakim, and this is Key Life Production. Peace out.